So, I do want to let you know I got the camera running.
No problem.
So careful what you say. As you've seen on the videos, I will clip out stupid things I say. I do not always extend that courtesy to guests. So, I should introduce you. Hello, YouTube. Good morning. It's cold out, and it's
shaved.
This is me too. Well, I'm a little further along than you are. This is Scott. Scott has watched every single video, so I don't have to go through all the spiel about the engine and all that stuff. I'm not going to tell him where the 6-sacks are, and we won't need them today. It's a gorgeous day. Now, what is the temperature out there right now? It was in the 30s. Yeah, 31 degrees, so slightly below freezing. But 30, 44 on the altimeter, it's really going to fly well.
Yep.
It's really going to like it. So we still have a long way to go on the oil. So let's see. Well, let's get this set up because I'll have you fly it a little bit. And from that side,
okay.
This is kind of cluttered.
Yeah.
So we'll do this when we get in the air. But what I'll end up doing is I'll just turn off the map. And, well, I'll probably leave EMS on because I do like to see that.
Sure.
And the other thing I'll do, that's not what I want. I want to go back to PFD. Now I got to get back where I was. Yeah, I thought that would do it. I'll change this to the 6-pack. Well, I don't know. Do you care?
I don't care.
Okay, we'll just leave it on the EFIS style. Well, sure, you don't have years and years and years of 6-pack
no, I don't
experience.
Have preference.
Yeah, sometimes I get, well, when I first started flying it, I didn't like this. I liked being able to just look at needles and the relative position of needles. I didn't have to read a number.
Right.
I just had to look at a needle. So this is my vertical speed, and right now that says we're not going up, we're not going down. That, to me, is not as obvious. If all I had to do is look at this needle, we're going a little bit down.
Yep.
That would be, the old style would go up like that and down like that. I just glance at that. This I have to look at, and that's very different.
That's in hundreds of feet per...
Yeah, we're at 940 feet above sea level. Yeah, that one would be 100 feet per minute, okay. 200 feet per... Well, no, that's not true. That would be 1,000 feet per minute, because
okay.
100 feet per minute is very light. 1,000 feet per minute. When we're climbing out, well, with you in here, but with the good weather, we're probably going to be close to 1,000 foot per minute climb, which is extraordinary. Like when you get into the Civil Air Patrol, the Cessnas,
yes.
They're going to climb at 300 or 400 feet per minute with 3 people on board and 64 gallons of fuel and all that. They're going to be heavy. So you'll see a huge difference. And it really, it freaks me out to fly a plane like that because I feel like there's something wrong with it. It's like I left half the engine back in the hangar.
You're used to this plane when it
Who turned off cylinders 5 and 6? So,
nice.
Okay, so we'll just leave that as is. Don't really need the map because this is telling us everything we need to know. This is called an HSI, Horizontal Situation Indicator, and we'll talk about it a little more in the air. But that is a segmented line. Now, right now, the segment is in the middle where it belongs because I just set a direct to. So by definition, we haven't moved.
Right.
So the starting point of that direct to is right here, and we're not moving. So if I were to start moving forward, eventually this middle bar here would start to creep down. So if you're flying along and the bar is over here, it means you need to turn right.
Yep.
It'll come back in, then you get it back. And it's not always going to be straight up and down because you have crosswinds.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see that on the full screen if I put the map screen back up.
Okay.
One of the screens, I think it's the map screen, shows your actual ground track. The other screen, which has all this stuff, doesn't. It shows your actual heading. So there'll be a difference, especially with a really big crosswind. You may see a difference of 15 degrees.
Wow.
You're really crabbing into it. And we'll also get a wind speed down here. It'll be able to calculate because it has a destination. It knows where we are and how fast we're going, where we're going, blah, blah, blah. It'll be able to figure out the crosswind component.
Okay.
Because you don't always get all of it. It can be right on the nose.
Yeah.
You have 0 crosswind component. If it's over here, you got all of it. And then algorithmically, or what was it, trigonometry, you could probably figure out, based on cosine and sine and blah, 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 that's what's going on inside there. So it's interesting to know.
Yeah.
We're up to almost 100 degrees, so we can go ahead and taxi.
Okay.
Because by the time we get down there, it'll be a little warmer, and we still have to do a run up.
To be at 120?
Yeah, 120, 121, something like that. Now what'll happen, see how I have that tiny little green arc on the tack?
Yep.
When that gets above, this is the neat thing about glass.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do that would be incredibly expensive to do mechanically. They'll just say, oh, there's 100, or they'll say there's 121, and that green arc will go all the way up to red line. So what that's telling me right now is don't go there.
Yeah.
For the reasons you've seen many, many, many times on the videos. You don't want to abuse that engine.
Sure.
If you can help it. Sometimes I just get in a dastardly mood. I'm going to abuse my engine.
Dastardly.
Can't kick the dog, just go thrashing the engine. Just kidding, honestly. All right, so I'm going to call the ground guy. Hope it's not the guy I had the last time. I don't know if you saw the most recent one. Yeah,
I did.
That was kind of my fault. I'm going to talk more slowly, and then I didn't.
You responded to his instructions.
I did, but I did it very quickly.
Yeah.
He may not have even been off the key. He may have still been on the mic for all I know, because I got right on that. Now, 99 times out of 1,000, no, 99. It's not very many.
That's
Close to 99.99%. They know exactly what you're going to say. I could go blah blah blah, just make noise, and he knows I'm confirmed. So he just didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And that could be because it's such a routine thing.
Yeah.
I just do it. I don't think, I need to be slow on this one because I'm not telling him anything he didn't expect to hear. But that's not entirely true because I could have said runway 4.
Yeah.
And that's why you read back. He would have corrected me on it. Well, it's the same thing I did on takeoff when I said I wanted to park to the west and I need to turn right to do that, and he cleared me for a left turnout. Now, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. So I just said I'd rather turn right. Okay,
Instead of calling him wrong.
No, he saw his mistake. You can hear him kind of stumble a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not going to make any sense either.
Yep.
And the whole thing is, it's March. People have not been flying for 3 months, at least not a lot. And so pilots get rusty. They do too.
Yeah.
They have the same problem we do. The first thing that goes away is your communication.
Yeah.
You get very glib with it, but after a month or two, at least I do, I lose it all. And I think that happens with them too.
Yeah.
And they're sitting up there all day, whether people are flying or not, they're up there all day. So anyway.
Yeah.
We're good. We're doing good on the oil. So, radio communications, key the mic. You tell them who you think you're talking to, and you're not always right. So you've heard this before. There's 2 frequencies, but there's only 1 guy up there. But if I call him on tower, he's still going to say you got to call me on ground because that's the way it works. That's the rules. So
this same guy does both.
Same guy does both, but you still have to be careful about being on the right frequency.
Sure.
This is not a busy airport. It's not O'Hare. It's not dangerous if I misspeak. He's got plenty of time to correct me. But technique. You do it for a reason because someday it is going to be a busy guy, and he doesn't have time for you to blah 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 blah. So anyway.
Yep.
It's lecture day in Fort Delta Golf. So,
I like lecture day.
I'm going to get a little lectern here so I can turn like I know what I'm talking about.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're ready we might as well get started. So I got to make sure I do this right. Oh no, it's making that horrible sound again. Yeah, it might be that headset. I don't know. It didn't do it yesterday or the day before. Let me get off on another frequency. I don't want to get off on an unused frequency. Well, Unicom frequency, something. 122. Is it?
Now I hear the beep.
Can you unplug your jacks down there real quick? We'll be able to put it back in.
Yes.
That squeal? All right, we'll just have to live with it.
Okay.
I don't know what could be causing that. I hate these radios. My friend Jan has same problem, all kinds of radio problems. I think it's bad grounding, but I can't really prove it. It's so hard to figure out too. I mean,
Now that's only internal here. Tower didn't hear that, right?
no, I haven't said anything to them, and they probably won't hear it. I believe it's internal. And I'll be able to hear them just fine. I'm hearing you just fine.
Yep.
It's question is whether he'll hear me, and we're going to find out real quick. Full ground, experimental 284 Delta Golf. T hangars ready to taxi departing VFR westbound.
1284 Delta Golf, full ground, runway 22, taxi via Bravo and Alpha, wind is calm, altimeter 3048.
Taxi Bravo to Alpha, runway 22 for Delta Golf. This wasn't the same guy, by the way. That guy before, I don't think I'd ever heard him before. And by the time I came back, it was this guy, and he's been here a long, long time.
Yeah,
I recognize his voice.
So do I.
Man, I hate it when everybody knows all my. I have nothing in the book here for you. I got nothing. All right, we're up to oil temp, so we did fine on that. Now this sun is going to blast you right in the eyes.
Wear sunglasses.
No,
This way.
it's rough in the mornings. Okay, there's no defroster.
Yeah.
It does happen. It was worse in the RV6. I'd be puffing, and it's just fogging up, and I have to open the canopy, and of course the bitter cold comes in when you do that.
A lot of hot air
We
here.
can actually, you have a vent down there. These are the vents I was talking about, down there by your right knee.
Yep, I was looking at that design last
Yeah,
night.
that's the one I think would benefit from some sort of directional control, because you open that thing up, it just blows where it blows, and it's not necessarily where you want it.
You want me to open it?
Oh, no, well, I opened mine to try to get some of the defog, but it's really not that bad. And it clears up once we're in the air anyway. I'm going to turn on the heat, even though there is none. It's one of those placebo effects, which I'm all in favor of, as I've said before. I mean, what the hell don't ruin my placebo effect.
That's right.
As long as I feel better, I don't care. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's just placebo effect. Well, yeah, but I feel better, so why are you ruining
Yep.
you ruin it for me? All right, so I'm not very diligent about it, but the idea is you follow the yellow line here.
Sure.
And that is supposed to help you. Well, it's the furthest from any obstruction.
Yep.
Right, and I don't have really long wings, but if I was coming down here in a Learjet or something, I might be a little more cautious about it. Now, wind calm, that's interesting. Usually on a calm, runway 4, as we talked about, runway 4 is way, way, way down there.
Yep.
That's also the calm air runway. So that's the runway they'll use when it's like this. And I don't understand why. That's a default for some reason. And generally, they would have had me taxi all the way down there. And you've heard me do this before. I'd prefer to, too.
Yeah, because
He either knows that or doesn't care, or I'm completely wrong about the calm air runway thing. That happens also.
he watches all your videos too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that guy. I better be careful what I say. He'll mock me in front of, like, I think I get about 200 views per video. And 180 of them are located right here. I can't say one damn thing about anybody at Bolton that I don't.
Better not.
Hey, I know you, you son of a. But yeah, it's happened a couple times now.
So you'll get over here to the run-up area.
Yep.
Run it up. Mag
Yep.
check.
Yep. Yupper. And, stick free and clear. You look to make sure they go the right direction. That makes a lot of sense if you had a total stranger maintain it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how those controls have gotten reversed from 2 days ago till today, but you do it. It's just a habit, and it doesn't, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And you've seen before, I'm very paranoid about that canopy latch.
Yes.
Just don't want to forget that thing. Now, that camera being in the way, and I'm looking at it right now, so I'm not going to touch it this time. Very
Long as you
paranoid
know.
about that thing.
I have been in a plane that canopy pop open after taking.
Yeah, I've heard it's unpleasant.
It wasn't bad. It was
All right, so I've got this. Okay, so both ignitions on. Everything is in. The thing you've seen before, I got to make sure I got the fuel pump in. Oh, flicker vertigo. You ever heard of that?
no.
With a prop flickering through the sun like that, you can
Oh.
sometimes get a little vertigo from that. They're called flicker vertigo. All right, so we'll go ahead and do our run up. So that's going to be as close to 4,000 as I can get. It's really, I mean, it's really too sensitive to get exactly 4,000, but really all you're looking for, I told you, you know all this. I'm just talking. All right. Obviously, you do these one at a time. Good. And there's numbers, it's allowed to drop by 100 and some, and you're allowed a huge difference between the two.
Master is both.
Master would not shut off the engine. The engine runs all by itself,
Good.
like a magneto engine will.
Yep.
Master would turn this off, and all the rest of this
All the
stuff.
electronics.
This wouldn't go off right away. This has a 30-second, hey, do you want me to stay on, kind of thing, so it wouldn't go off right away. But what I have done in the past, accidentally, like coming in, turning right base, I go to give it a little bit of up trim because I'm in a turn, and I hit that instead.
Oh.
I don't lose this, but I do lose this, and there's a guy out there, right over there actually, that wants to be able to talk to me. So,
Yeah.
so it's not a good thing.
No.
So we got free and clear. We've checked the canopy. I got to do something at this seatbelt. I keep trying to pop myself out of it. I don't like this latch at all. I don't think it's safe. All right. Everything's in the green. Sun is getting on my nerves. We're really ready to go. Okay. Now this is going to be the same exact guy, but I'm going to pretend he's never heard of me.
Yep.
Because most people like to pretend they've never heard of me.
No.
Okay. I'm going to creep up a little bit. Okay. Bolt Tower, experimental 284 Delta Golf, ready for takeoff runway 22 and Alpha 1, departing VFR westbound.
Experimental 284 Delta Golf, Bolton Tower, runway 22, clear for takeoff, westbound departure.
Clear for takeoff runway 22 and westbound departure for Delta Golf. Oh, that went well today.
Nice and smooth.
Yeah. I think they do tend to learn. I mean, I've been flying out of here 20-some years, and I do think they learn the tenets,
Yep.
and how they fly. Because they have actually turned me in front of planes that were taking a really long time to get to the runway, because they know I don't take a lot of time on the runway. All right, here we go. This is the moment of truth. Yeah, there's definitely no wind. I got no crosswind at all. Now, usually I'm in the air by now, so everything now is your added weight.
I feel much
And
better
we're off there. See? So
Nice.
it makes a difference, but it's not a huge difference. This thing just likes to fly.
Sure as shit. Yeah, sorry.
This one's rated PG-13.
More editing.
Ah, damn it! It's PG-13 now. Oh, I left my vent open. Okay, we're fully defrosted. We can close those. There's a bird.
It's close.
Get a lot of birds around here.
Did you ever find the big birds?
Oh yeah. Have I hit any? No, but I've had them run in front of me. I've had them fly in front of me.
From the other day. Did you ever find them that he warned you about?
Oh no, I never saw them. He said they were congregating around the tower, and I don't really fly around the tower, so I'm not sure why that was of interest to me. But you will see, you'll see a carrion eater sometimes out right on the side of the runway, picking away at something, and they don't like to move. You know, so it's those guys that you don't really like. Gorgeous today, crystal clear. There's our rodeo. Those guys moved in 3 or 4 years ago, and they do rodeos maybe 2-3 times a year, which I don't mind. But they also have a concert at the end, which I do mind, because it's placed directly at our house, and they play pretty late in the night. And it's really the music that bothers me, because I like Mexican music, and I like German Oopa Loopa music, but when they mix the two, it just rankles. I mean, it's just, why are they doing that?
It's fusion.
Now, you see how that is now?
Yep.
I could do one of two. I could do two things. I could reset the direct to, or I could just fly over to it. So we'll just take a heading like this, and that should start to creep in a little bit. See it? It's very slow, but it's coming in. Creeping in there, creeping in.
We're looking at the dotted lines.
We're looking at this. That's the
pink,
purple one.
Yeah,
pink,
gotcha.
purple. Pinkle. Purple. Purpink. The purpink one. The purpink line. Another little mini stroke. That's close enough, really. But you kind of see how it's working. So we would just kind of gently turn back. We're at almost 2,500 feet. We'll go to 3,500.
Still climbing.
We're climbing at 600 feet per minute. Yep. And our speed is 93 knots through the air. Across the ground, 85. So we must have some headwind. Well, it looks like we do. Most of it's crosswind, but we still have some headwind.
Yeah.
True airspeed, and the higher you go, the higher it gets in your ground speed because the air is thinner.
Yeah.
You're just flying a little faster through the air across the ground, but it still seems like if you're doing 600 knots across the ground in an airliner, he's indicating about 240.
Really?
Because the air is so thin up there, you got to go through it so much faster to get the lift. That's what jet engines are good for. They like that thin air. All right, so put your, I'd suggest your left hand, but whichever you want, gently on the stick. All right, your airplane.
Wow.
So now we can just keep this altitude for another 500 feet. And what we'll do when we get there, we'll just pull the throttle back a little bit. We're not going to push the nose forward, we'll just pull the throttle back. And do you understand trim?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll probably have to trim it out a little bit. And you can be making some turns if you want, just to get a feel for the turning. Just do some S turns.
Wow, I'm flying a plane.
Yep, it doesn't take much, does it? Very little pressure. No movement at all, is it? It's just pressure.
No. Now I was worried my legs here would be in the way of your stick.
Yeah. Nope, you're doing fine. All right, 400 to go. Well, I got 100 to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the throttle back.
Okay.
And it's just going to go ahead and level itself off. I'll take a wild-ass guess. I'll take a wild guess. Like Richard Nixon in those tapes. Yeah, expletive deleted.
It does level itself out.
I'm going to get a t-shirt made that says expletive deleted. And only people over 50 will understand it.
Well, I'm not there.
There, you're looking good. So now on this one, I think I can't remember if this has a wind correction or not. I have to turn on the map, but you can just follow the purple line. Now we're a little bit, see we're climbing a little bit still, and we don't want to. That's what your trim does. See how that kind of just took a little pressure off? Now if it goes too far, you trim it back. Now the trim, it's very, very fast now. It used to be really slow. You could hold your finger down. This sped it up.
Really?
The original autopilot didn't do the trim, so it wasn't really an autopilot. I was having to fly because it couldn't trim out. You know, it'd run out of enough authority, and I'd have to fly it.
Yep.
When I bought these, this has an auto trim in it.
Yep.
Now, my personal opinion, I think Dynan could make a lot of money just selling the auto trim module. Not everybody wants the buttons, but everybody would want the auto trim.
Yeah.
They probably have marketing reasons or whatever, or technology reasons they don't do it, but it makes a world of difference.
Are you telling me you had to help the trim with the stick?
Yes. Oh, I had, or with trim button.
Yeah.
I had to do it. It would actually tell me. It would come up and say, I want trim. All right.
Fine.
You're not an autopilot. Now let's find the frequency at Urbana. I think it's 122.8 maybe, but we're going to look. And we'll go to, I got to turn the map back on. So let's see, is that PFD? No, I get that wrong every time. Screen, map, there we go. Map menu, info, Urbana Grimes, 22.7. So I can actually just, I go to the I don't have a touch screen. I was flying with a guy that has a touch screen. It spoiled me rotten. I've forgotten how to do this. And I lost Madison County. I'll pay, you fly, I'll do this.
Okay, I'll just fly.
Yep. I've forgotten how to do this.
AWOS is automated weather and
observation system.
Observation. What's ATIS?
Automated information service. I think it provides a little more. There's a distinction between there's different types of AWOS. I think some don't report cloud heights or things like that. I can't remember precisely. But let's see, we'll do a direct 2 on that. And what was I actually trying to do? Oh, I was going to tune. All right, let's just do it. It's 22.7, and we'll go ahead so we can start listening to see who's there. So we don't just barrel in and say, hey, everybody, announce yourself.
County traffic.
There's one right there. That's how you do it. So let's get the AWOS over here. That's the automated weather system. So I'm going to tune COM. It's in standby. Now I need to bring it active.
Grimes Field, Urbana Municipal Airport. Automated weather observation. 1312 Zulu weather. Wind 200 at 4. Visibility 10.
Easy decision. The
Clear,
runway's 2
low,
and 20.
2000. Temperature 2 Celsius. Dew point -4. Altimeter 304.
Now this is interesting. Remember our ground temperature was 31 degrees?
Yes.
51 up here.
Wow.
That's a temperature inversion. That could be the ground keeping the air cold.
Yeah.
But that's a huge difference. That's a 20-degree difference. Actually, that explains why we're getting heat.
Yeah.
Because we don't need it.
I was going to say, you complain about no heat all the time, but
well, when you get an extra 30 degrees,
yeah.
that'll do it for you. All right, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and look at the airport. I don't get diagrams anymore. I used to get diagrams. I don't pay for them anymore. Well, you can tell runway 20 is going to be right there. See the 21? It's going to be right below that. We're heading kind of right at it. We make left traffic unless the airport says otherwise, and almost all of them are left traffic by default.
And you enter at midfield.
So we're headed right at midfield. So we'll just make that left downwind, left base, and landing. Very, very easy to enter this one. So kind of like, almost feel like cheating, doesn't it? Now you can see the runways here. So that's runway 20 right there. Runway 19 is grass.
Oh.
And if it was not winter, I'd do that. But I'm not sure. I don't know how well they maintain it in the winter.
Yeah.
And it can get pretty bad if the grass is real high.
I'll bet.
But I do like landing on the grass. That's why I keep the wheel pants off of it. I love it. It's fun. Now, the other thing we could have done today is gone up to Mount Victory.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant up there. They have a grass runway, but they have a grass runway.
Yeah.
And in the winter, I guess I could call ahead. How's the runway look? But if you get a waitress, they don't know. I don't know who to ask. But it is fun to go there because I do like landing on grass now and then. It's a very different experience. Now, Marysville's up that way. They also have a parallel grass runway.
Sir, I don't know the answer to that, but like your big medium.
What's the question?
Nothing, I was...
All right, let's go back down to 35. And let's, we don't need the map again. I'll give you a little more room so you can see what's going on.
I see that our line is transferred over to the map.
Well, okay, so one of these is corrected for wind and one is not. And I think this is the one that is. This is not. See how there's a little bit of an angle difference?
Yep.
That's wind correction.
Interesting.
Well, that's the beauty of GPS. You used to have to figure that out for yourself. There's two things GPS you never had before unless you had a Loran or something really expensive. You knew you were on a certain line going to a certain point, but other than looking at the ground or timing things, you had no idea where you were on that line. Now I know down to the 1/10 of a mile. Yeah. And the other thing is you had to figure out your own wind correction. You had little sliders and things to do that, the E6B and all that.
Yep.
I just followed the GPS. I don't have any other nav here but GPS. Seat of the pants. I mean, I could find my way home from here.
Yep. Yeah, you can do it by the ground.
No, it's pilotage. That's called pilotage, and that's why I do carry charts. If I need to pull out a chart, I have a chart.
Yep.
Assumes I know my last known position, but I typically do. It's right in front of me. And I also have a second GPS I could carry. That would have been in your way. It also hasn't had a map update in about 10 years, so.
Still turn?
Yeah, you can turn. Do whatever you want.
I'm a big chicken, so you won't see me at big wing angles.
Nothing wrong with that.
You ever find you have to put rudder in? I mean, well, not with the...
Yeah, when you're turning. See that little ball right there?
Yep. Oh, there's your rudder.
All right, I'm putting in right rudder. See what it's doing?
Yep.
It wants left rudder. So basically, you just follow that ball. Now, if you just let it fly by itself, I'm just going to hold it for a second here. See how the ball is a little bit off to the side?
Yeah.
Airplane's a wee bit crooked. So I usually have my right foot. All I got to do is rest my right foot on that rudder and see how it moves.
Yep.
Where it really matters is in a turn. If I don't do anything with the rudder, see how the tail is kind of dropping down?
Yep.
It wants a little bit of rudder to hold that tail up into the turn. That's the way I visualize it. I'm visualizing it as if I just roll the airplane, the tail is dropping down into the turn. I don't know if it is or not, but that's my visualization, and it helps me remember to do this. So if that tail's hanging down like that, you know, that's an uncoordinated turn. And most people can feel it. I can't. Doesn't bother me a bit. But that's what that's all about. That's used to be a little mechanical ball.
Yep.
So, all right, your airplane.
Got it.
And we can start heading down a little bit. How far we got to go yet? We got 15 miles. I'm just going to slow us down a little bit so we can let it come down, give it a little nose down trim. We don't need to keep climbing. That's Mechanicsburg.
Yep.
Recognize the silos. So the next one up, next little town, you see those water towers up there? That's Urbana.
Oh, nice.
Well, you can just follow the road right out of, you can follow 29 right out of Mechanicsburg and get there, but. And I've been flying along, when I had the Tampico, I was flying along one day and watching trucks pass me.
Really?
On 42 because I had such a headwind. Had a headwind.
Yeah. Is Urbana controlled airspace?
No, nothing out here is. Closest Dayton would have a tower. Rickenbacker, Don Scott, Bolton, and that's about it. I might be missing one or two, but.
Ohio State?
Ohio
you
State,
said
yeah,
Don Scott,
yeah. Yeah, they have a tower. I don't know if it's like it used to be. No. Back when I flew out of Don Scott, that's when people were still flying a lot. I mean, you'd be in a line of 5, 6 airplanes just to use the runway. And the tower back then, they were pretty cranky. Towers that deal with students all day,
yeah,
they like things. I mean, students are probably the best pilots they get, honestly, because they have an instructor with them,
yeah,
or they're experienced enough to be solo.
Yeah.
But you get people flying into towered airports that don't like to fly into towered airports, and they really don't know how to do it. So tower get a little cranky with them. I've had it because they had the parallel runways, and they would use both of them. I don't know if they do that anymore. But a guy took off on the south runway, immediately turned left across the north runway, and he got a ripping that I have never heard before on the radio. He was told never to come back, which I'm not sure a tower controller can do.
You heard it?
Yeah, I heard it. And I mean, that's why. I mean, it was a serious infraction. It really was. You don't cross over an active runway.
So I'm looking for that middle bar to be back in line with the rest of the purple.
Yep, so you'd have to go a little further left because we're still pretty far out. Well, that's probably, it's 5 miles. It's 5 miles all the way out here. This changes. As you get closer, it gets more sensitive, so that'll condense down. You need it to be more sensitive. That's why it does it. So that is probably maybe less than a mile off course. Right? It's minimal. The autopilot would correct for it just very gently. If you get far enough away, it kind of really goes at it. It's rarely this smooth. Even on a summer morning, it would already be bumpy.
Yep.
But this is why I like the other reason I like mornings, this is Sunday. A lot of people fly only on weekends, people that work. And especially this time of year when you really don't have an evening.
Yep.
Well, that's going to get better soon. But so Sunday morning in Urbana is going to be busy. And it's an uncontrolled field.
Yeah.
No control tower. That's not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is finding a place to park.
Is it?
It's only, like up at Putin Bay, they've expanded the parking ramp at least twice since I started flying up there 15, 20 years ago because it gets so crowded. There's no place to park the airplanes. Urbana will be crowded. Portsmouth, I think, has a better restaurant. It's twice as far, which is why we didn't go.
Yeah.
It's better food, it's a better flight, and it doesn't get as crowded. But, yeah, it's further. I don't think we had to go that far today. I had to go buy gas, and I'm lazy. Man, it shot up. It was $1.97 2 days ago. It's $1.30 something now.
As soon as you said,
Huh?
$1.30?
$2.30 now.
$2.30.
$2.30, $2.35. We paid $1.94 because we get 3 cents off at Thornton's. And then like a day later, it's 40, 50 cents a gallon more. I mean, it's.
This lane.
You have to be pretty trusting to think there's not some kind of shenanigans going on there.
Yeah.
Nothing changes that rapidly.
This plane runs pump gas?
Yeah, 91
Nice.
octane. Saves me a fortune. All right, how far out are we? 8 miles. So we're gonna have to get ready to start talking. I don't hear anybody here yet, but at about six or 7 miles, I'll make a call. We're coming from the southeast, and which is nice because that's gonna put us on that nice 45 for the runway. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the map back on here.
Okay.
There we go. So there's traffic. Our altitude, and he's 6 or 7 miles away. He just turned. He could be heading right here. Probably get there before us. Still too far away to see. He's outside of 5 miles. Even at 5 miles, very, very hard to see anything but a big passenger jet.
Yeah.
Clear today, which would help, but there's still just a tiny little speck. Yeah, he's heading right at it. Let's, probably gonna end up behind him. If he wasn't co-altitude, I would, I'd be like, he's just flying somewhere, but I think he's there. So just made a turn. So we're gonna kind of work around him unless we hear from him anytime soon.
Your plane.
Okay. I'd like to be hearing from him. So we're gonna make a call here in a mile, so one of us is gonna talk.
Not me.
No, not you. That's the thing students are most reluctant to do. They don't like talking on the radio. Oh, he turned around. All right, he's not a factor then. He's just out flying.
Now, he's the diamond?
Huh? Yeah.
He's the diamond?
The diamond, the little diamond means the computer doesn't think he's a threat to us.
Okay.
Because he's way the hell off to the side. I mean, if he was right in front of us, he'd be round.
Yeah. And the +2, +3.
Now he's 300 feet above us.
Nice.
Part of that is because we're still descending it. Part of it might be because he's circling around again. Nope.
I see him.
Okay, but I can't.
See the white water tower way off?
Yeah.
Directly above and about to cross it now. Now.
Is he what's in the background? Ground or sky?
White sky.
Well, I don't see him.
Above the gray line.
Nope. Eyes aren't good enough.
He's going to be on our wing now.
I've never had good eyes. Oh, now I do. Okay. Urbana garage traffic, experimental 284 Delta Golf, 5 miles south, inbound left traffic, runway 20, Urbana Grimes. And the radio sounds fine now. It didn't make that squealing.
It's just cold.
Maybe. It shouldn't matter, should it? But
yeah,
maybe.
Condensation on a plug.
I think that's a good guess. Do you see the runway?
I do not.
I don't either. But I know where it is, so I won't have any trouble finding it. It's actually, you see that big white house, and then you have a bunch of farm? Well, that's not. See the red barn with the green roof?
Yes.
Straight back from that, there'll be a big white barnish looking thing.
Yeah.
The runway's just behind it, going from right to left. It's a very thin strip of concrete that looks the same color as the grass around it.
Yep.
We're not pointed directly at it, but I will. And I'm pointed directly at there's a series of white buildings and then a gap and then the big white building. That flat white building has a taxiway coming off of it to the runway. That's the restaurant.
2 uniform is 6 miles southwest, inbound for 7.
That's him. Oh no, he said inbound for 7. That's somebody else. He is southwest though, so.
Yep.
All right, now we're gonna start losing some altitude. Gonna do it with alacrity now.
He's 6 miles out, but
I don't think he's at a different airport. These frequencies are shared. He called runway 7. We don't have a runway 7.
7 here.
He would have said the airport, but I was yapping.
Yep.
Which is the risk of having logria of the mouth. But
Charlie, left downwind of beam 28, touch good 28 Delaware.
Okay, he's up in Delaware.
Is my tablet correct? We're 3.3 miles?
Yes, it is.
Sweet. I had this running on my flight to Daytona.
Yeah, you said
I got some weird looks. was kind of hiding it from the flight attendant.
I don't think they care anymore.
Well, I didn't want to be the guy to care about.
Well, that's true. Here's another one coming, or another one heading the same direction, see? This place will get busy.
Yep.
All right, 2.5 to go. Now you can see that wind. We're low enough you can see the wind. You can see our relative motion from the wind.
Yep.
How we're kind of creeping to the right.
Yep.
You can't see that when you're up high.
That's amazing. Oh, wow.
Well, it's a pretty good wind. It's a 18 knot crosswind component, so 18 knots is quite a bit. It'll be way less on the ground.
Yeah.
It dies way down once you get on the ground, or near the ground. All right, I'm going to call entering midfield because this guy's getting close. He's 1,000 up though. He's probably just going to go over. Now you can see that center taxiway a lot better.
Yep.
The big building off to the side is where they're restoring or rebuilding or building from scratch. Opinions vary. A B-17.
Ah.
Urbana Grimes traffic, 284 Delta Golf, midfield left downwind runway 20, Urbana Grimes.
Sorry about the steep turn.
I'm okay with it.
Good. It's just that kind of airplane.
Oh, I know.
You don't fly
it's
it like
so
a Cessna.
smooth.
And it's very responsive. You know, you put a Cessna at a bank like that, you got to plan ahead to get it back out.
Yeah. Oh, because it's sluggish?
It's so much slower. Well, it feels that way to me. It feels that way because of what I've been flying.
Sure. You're spoiled.
Well, that's true. All right, so I got to be down in the white arc to bring down the flaps. I do that with that lever right there. And then I trim back up the takeoff. And that's right there. And what that does is it gives me a really good approach slope, or approach glide. I never did get down to pattern altitude. Well, get down.
Urbana Grimes, 4 Delta Golf, left base, runway 20, full stop, Urbana Grimes.
Fast again. Oh, that feels just right. We're a little far out.
Are we?
Yeah, I usually stay a little tighter. With this airplane, you can stay a little tighter. But I had a little extra altitude to get rid of.
I would
Now
have
look
guessed
at that
we were too
road.
close.
Look at the road.
Yeah.
How we're sliding across
Yep,
that.
we sure are.
Now there's a little bit of turbulence. This is very, very light.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit of wind turbulence. As the sun starts, and maybe not so much in the winter, but in the summer, you get a lot of hot air coming up off the dark fields
Yep.
and dropping over the green, so you get a lot of this as you get closer to the runway.
A lot of thermal.
It can be hard to deal with. Kind of screws up your approach. See the grass runway off to the side? It's at a slight angle.
Yep.
Could still be wet, it's hard to say. A lot of the lower stuff still looks wet.
Urbana Grimes traffic, 4 Delta Golf, final 20, full stop, Urbana Grimes.
Nobody here yet.
I was going to say you beat the crowd.
We beat it first. Kind of overshot my final. Now this is going to be pretty much a headwind, so I shouldn't have to correct too much for it, but it's going to take forever to get to the runway.
Yeah.
It makes it look like you're just sitting here. Are we ever going to get there?
Are we still? We're still at 18.
Well, no, we're
50.
down to, yeah. And it's at, what is the altitude? It's about 800, I think. I'd have to look it up. It's in here. The actual MSL. This will never get to 0 unless we're at sea level. You're not going to do that in Ohio.
No, I think most of us.
Yes. I feel like I've been doing this all day. I could probably land and stop in the space of the numbers.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It is a 13 knot headwind though, so that's significant. Now you see the sock though, how it's just sitting limp? That headwind's going to go away. It's almost going to be like a wind shear. It's just going to go away.
We're going to get kicked in the butt.
Well, it's just not going to be going as slow across the ground.
Yep.
That's definitely not 13 knots on that wind sock. Calm air, no excuse at all for botching a landing. That wasn't horrible.
I'm impressed.
Oh, there is a plane here. That looks like an experimental. From the paint job. Like factory paint. Okay, well now see that wind sock is up and the flag is blowing. Also at half staff. Did I miss something?
Whoa. No.
Why is the flag
half staff?
Yeah, isn't it? Looks like there's a whole lot of pull above it.
Yeah, sure enough.
Did I miss something
No,
important?
not that I know of. I miss a lot of. Hell, I get my news from you.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help you any.
Been slacking lately.
Make most of it up. Yeah, that's, no, you're right. That's the antenna next to it. Good. That's good. Yeah, that's a home built too. The one go parked by the other experimental. He's off there all alone. He's like, why the hell do you park right next to me? I'm out here alone for a reason. I think that's a CH-701. It's kind of a bush plane, not quite. Well, it doesn't have the bush tires on it. You can do it both ways. Chris Hines is the designer. That's where the CH comes from. If that is, in fact, a 701. It probably has a Rotax in it, just like this one. Most of these small two-seaters will have a Rotax in them. Could be a Kit Fox. Those high wings all look alike to me. Could be an Avid Flyer.
They all have that big door.
Yeah, we'll see what it is. It'll say right on it. All right, have arrived. Okay, I got to remember to shut off the camera because it corrupts the file if I don't. Yep. File's kind of already corrupted with our harsh language.
Get your ladies' gloves off.
Temperature 5 Celsius. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3044.
4. It's getting. Oh, it's already 3044. Where he was. Okay. All right, we're on the recording machine here.
Understood.
This video is already going to come with a language warning, so don't worry about that anymore.
Urbana Municipal Airport.
I'm not going to try to get all that out of there.
Automated
All right, I
weather.
already heard from him. Going to take off on the same runway we left on, just going to be a little more wind. Let's see, what else we got to do? We got to go direct to KTZR. That'll be my recent list. Right there. Direct to piece of cake. All right.
Done deal.
And I'm on 22.7, so that's our Unicom. Oil will be warm by the time we get there. Sharp-eyed YouTube viewers will notice this big bright red light. Some of them have seen it before. I'm sure you've seen this before. I've had to talk about that before.
Yes.
Weather gets cold, the stupid spar pins, sensors don't work. We got this far, so I don't think the wings are going to fall out. You can reach behind you and feel those pins. I mean, this is... There's probably liability reasons they built this in, you know, but realistically, I know when I've had the wings off, but not everybody's situation is the same as mine. If this is a shared airplane or it's been maintained and they weren't, you know, so
that would be alarming.
It makes sense. It's just, I just wish it worked better when it was cold.
Yep.
Now we're not getting the headset noise again.
No.
So that, whatever was causing that is gone. That's a wonderful, well, actually I haven't keyed the mic, so I really don't know that.
It was cold.
Up there, there's a little hump, there's still a little hump there.
Shrunk.
I don't know what that's, I don't know what that
What's Bolt?
K Tango Zulu Romeo.
K Tango Zero?
Yep, KTZR.
Gotcha.
I don't know where that came from. You know, I mean, CVG is Cincinnati, that's Covington, CVG in Covington. Dayton is DAY, Columbus is CMH. Bolton is, well, it used to be 2 India 4, so it didn't even have it had numbers in it, like the smaller airports do. And somehow they came up with Tango Zulu Romeo. I don't know how that fits Bolton at all.
Got to have something unique.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to. It's not a requirement that it do, but yeah. All right, so we could probably taxi. We're up to 111 already, so we'll be fine by the time we get to the end of the runway.
Sweet.
I did pick up the chalk, right?
Yes.
There it goes.
You put it beside you.
I knew I did. It's a cute little airport. I absolutely love this place. I've come back from Murphy. That's the EAA fly-in. Used to be up, well, it's been all over the place. For the last few years, it's been here.
Does it get crowded?
Yeah, it gets very crowded. Personally, I would drive to it.
Where did you go on the grass field for a fly-in? I remember seeing a video of...
Well, I mean, I went to Mount Victory and there were airplanes parked there. A grass runway fly-in, that'd have to be ages ago because I've forgotten it.
It was years.
Yeah, it could be. I don't really remember. Well, there was one, I flew down to the tailwheel fly-in down in, it's right along the banks of the Ohio.
Yeah.
That was a grass runway. Lee Bottom, something like that. Lee Bottom is the name of the airport. But I can't remember. Mount Victory would definitely be, well, you said a fly-in, yeah.
I think it was a fly, I don't remember. I remember that you and a couple of other vans...
There are certainly, and you're probably in this crowd, there are people that know more of what I've done than I remember. You know, I try to forget most things, you know, just because I say stupid crap, you know. Now these birds here, these are skittish birds, and they'll fly away, not like a goose that'll just sit in front of you.
Yeah.
But you don't want them to... They're generally not super smart about where they fly.
Yep.
Those big ravens or crows or whatever those are. Yeah, see, he turned away. There they go, good. They won't just sit there like a goose will, they'll fly. And the thing about the goose, it just sits there.
Yeah.
So unless it's right in front of you, you just go around it.
Yep.
These guys will fly, when they start flying, you don't know where they're going to go. Could use a little more throttle, there we go. Trying to stay in the green arc.
Boy, that hangar, they're just using for that restoration.
Oh, no.
Oh, no?
They got a B-25 in there. They've got a, you ever heard of a COD, Navy COD plane carrier onboard delivery? It's a big Grumman twin-engine turbo. I think it's either piston or turboprop. I don't remember. They just recently got one of those. That's sitting in there. They have some kind of a couple small piston planes. I don't know exactly remember what they are. They got a DC-3/C-47, basically the same thing. Yeah. That I think they'll restore at some point. It obviously had been hauling cargo for the last for its last job. It's pretty rotten. But you can walk up in that. You can go all the way up to the pilot seat. And then they have a lot of just museum kind of stuff, like a Norden bomb site.
Yeah.
Just paraphernalia. Paraphernalia sounds wrong, doesn't it? Some of the peripheral stuff of being a pilot from World War II. They have a lot of that stuff. So it didn't used to be that way. That hangar was built specifically for them, by them, and for them. Huh. Used to be just they were kind of fitting a car, but it's very well put together. It's very nice inside. It's comfortable. They treat it like a museum. There's a guy on he's left downwind, and I'm not. There he is. I'm not hearing him on the radio, but he's easy to see. So
I think I heard him right before he turned in.
Yeah, I may have been yapping. We're going to do a run up anyway, so we'll just take off behind him. If I wanted to roll out in front of him, I have time to do it. He's pretty far out. But I think we'll go ahead and do a run up anyway, just, that kind of a quickie.
Is left downwind default for most?
Left traffic is default for every airport unless notified. So the only one I knew of that had an official right pattern was Portsmouth. And it's, so if you were landing to the south, you had a right pattern, but it went over all these hills.
Oh.
And I think they were only doing it to keep you from going over to houses on it. I don't know why they were doing it, but now they're both left. And the thing about it is, it's so rare, relatively rare. Even when it was right traffic, I still saw people flying left traffic.
Oh.
You have to actually look it up. Now, it's easy enough to do now because I have the entire database now. You used to have books and such. So this probably won't even say left traffic. It's probably just assumed.
Yeah.
Left traffic. Left traffic. Okay, so that's where it would tell you. Now, so down at Portsmouth, you'd have had runway 18 would have been right traffic, but I didn't have any of this back then. You really had to do your research, which you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's not like a special request or anything, but.
Yeah.
All right, he just turned final. I heard him.
Yeah, I heard him say 20 though, but I see.
That's right. Yeah, he's turning final for 20.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we're gonna head off this way.
Oh, I was seeing Bolton on the screen too.
Oh, yeah. That's when we get there. Yeah. We could still go. I haven't done the run-up yet. I've been sitting there talking.
Yeah.
Keep me engaged with the task here, Scott.
Sorry.
You're supposed to be my discipline. I've outsourced my discipline.
I don't like to interrupt.
And I really don't, there we go. I really don't expect to find a problem here since we just flew it. But it's happened before, so things can just break.
Yeah.
So you do it, because if it does break, your options are very limited.
Yep. We're over the ground.
Now see, he's flying right into that wind just like we were.
Yeah, I can see him crabbing a little. Not much. Oh, he's
moving very slow.
He's dead into the wind.
He's got some headwind. And we'll have that on takeoff. Just kind of nice.
Yeah, that flag's moving now.
Yeah. That was weird. It is windier than it was when we got here. I knew it was supposed to pick up throughout the day. It almost always does. As the air gets warmer, it starts moving more. All right, well, we'll go up to the hold short line, and once he pulls off, we'll go. He should be able to make that first turn off. If he doesn't, it'll take a little longer.
I didn't see anybody in the back seats.
He's slow enough. I don't know why he wouldn't be able to make it. Nothing else out there? Nope. Now, he was not required to make any radio calls at all.
Because it's uncontrolled.
Right. So around here, when you're out here,
Anagrams, Cherokee 461, clear the
you can't just count on the traffic. You really have to look. And when you're, now with the wind being what it is, they're almost all going to be going 2-2. On a calm air day, you be going both directions. It's pilot's choice. So that's why we don't like calm air, and we don't like a 90-degree direct crosswind. Same story. It's pilot's choice. So you really got to be listening and watching, because not everybody's on the radio. All right, last minute canopy check. It's good. Everything is good. Everything is on. We got the heat. We're choked. Okay, we're ready to go.
Urbana Grimes traffic, Terminal 284, Delta Golf, departing runway 20, departing due to south, Urbana Grimes.
Ooh. Radio sound crappy again.
Yeah.
Now another thing to worry about.
Looking clear.
Playing tic-tac-toe up there at the contrails. Chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
I hadn't heard that about those satellites. That is interesting.
I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I know, but I saw recently that satellites. All right, here we go. I forgot to turn on my noise reduction. Can't hear a damn thing. There it goes. Bat out of hell.
Sure is.
This is 900 foot per minute climb at 74 knots, and I can climb at 60 something.
Crosswind for 28 Delaware.
Very good climber.
Sorry, left downwind for 28 Delaware.
All right, that guy up downwind, he's
190
gone.
Charlie Bravo, about 3 miles south.
We can go ahead and turn.
Going to be entering the downwind for 26 here in about maybe 3 or 4
You
minutes.
can feel it's bumpier already, can't you? Yeah.
Traffic.
It's us. It alerts on itself. That can be kind of frustrating.
That's weird.
Well, it happens down low, some kind of ground reflection or something, I don't know. Other people have had it, so I don't think it's something unique to me. But I've never seen anybody, well, what do you do about it? Oh. But I'm used to it. See, it's gone already.
Wrap everything in aluminum foil.
Yes. Like my
Urbana
hat.
Traffic Stop 5711, departing 20. Right-hand turn out, departure to the west. Urbana Traffic.
Okay, that's the guy that was leaving behind us.
Delaware traffic lights 4,
And he's
5
heading
Bravo,
straight out,
turning
so we
left,
don't, we're actually a little bit to the
left
right.
base for 28 Delaware.
So we don't much care what he does. I'm going to reset my direct 2. There we go. And I believe
Newark Keys Airport, this is 955
This is ground
Skip
track.
Hotel at Appleton, doing a hold inbound for circling approach to 27, Newark Keys.
Delaware traffic lights 4, 5 Bravo, turning final for 28 Delaware.
busy up at Delaware today. I wonder
I
what's
was going
going
to
on
say, I'm
there.
here in Delaware traffic.
Well, the heat's working now, and now
Yeah.
it's down to 44 degrees. We were at 51 before. We were a little higher before. There, now you can see the difference between the ground track and the heading. Because we have a 29 knot crosswind component.
Yep.
Look how much we're having to crab. That's at least 15 degrees.
Wow.
So this one gives me my track across the
Warren
ground.
County traffic 190 Charlie Bravo.
This one gives me my actual
26, Warren
heading.
County.
And that's important because if I was working with air traffic control and they were giving me vectors, 2 things I would have to do. I would have to go away from that showing me the actual ground heading to the magnetic heading because that's how they give you vectors.
Yep.
If they fly 270 and they know there's a 30 knot wind from the north, they're going to tell you to fly 280.
Yep.
Or they'll correct for you. So if you start following, if they say fly 270 and I use this to do it, I'm not going to go where they think I'm going to go.
Yeah.
That's that guy that just departed. See how he's turned off? He's turned off to the west.
Left crosswind for 28
So you're-
Warren County.
You're flying by this one? Or you're
Well, I can fly by both as long as, what I'm saying is if I did this,
made that one straight up.
we would start drifting off course because I don't have that wind correction anymore. I need
Yep,
to do that to
that
get
has
the
the
wind
wind
correction.
correction,
You didn't used to have this kind of stuff. There is so much
No.
magic in this box.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible. Let's see, I'm going to go 28.1
Delaware traffic lights 4, 5 Bravo, turning.
and 21.8 is the ground frequency, so I'll have that in so I'm ready. Once we land, I have to go straight to ground anyway. Okay. Want to fly it?
Sure, 1 second.
Just tool us along.
Got it.
Okay, you're...
You're able to fly under the second tier of a
Yeah.
Class B.
Oh
though,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Like if I'm going into Burke Lakefront,
Yeah.
you really don't bother to talk to Burke because they're going to guide you around anyway. They're not going to let you in. And when they guide you around, there's a 50-50 chance they're going to put you out over water.
Yeah.
They're going to put you way out over the lake in a single-engine airplane down low. So I stay under the shelves. It's like an upside-down wedding cake. I just stay under the shelves.
Yep.
So I'm down low, and I'm down low over highly populated areas, which I don't like,
No.
but I prefer it to water.
Yeah.
So I don't even bother to call them anymore because every single time I've done that, they've just vectored me around, and it was awkward. So I just do my own thing, so I know what to expect.
Sorry, I'm playing.
Oh, you're allowed to do that.
Doing.
There's a guy, 2000 and descending, crossing Madison County head point would disappear, maybe heading towards Urbana. Surprisingly light traffic today, although there was a couple coming in.
He disappeared because...
Maybe landing, might be low.
Oh.
Because this is, TIS is not ADSB. TIS is Port Columbus approach, transmitting back the signal. They get the signal of this airplane, they match it up with whatever, if he's ADSB or not, whatever, and they just push it back out. And that's why when I pick up TIS. Now ADSB is airplane to airplane. It's more accurate. If you see a tail number, that means he's got ADSB.
I get ADSB on my PC at home.
Yeah.
Via an antenna. And when I saw those satellites the other night, the SpaceX satellites, which freaked me out because I thought it was military jets flying due north, and I lost count at about 40 of them.
Well, they're not normally all in a line, but they're doing some kind of constellation thing.
I know. Well,
I didn't.
I should have. I didn't even think about it, but I should have gone to my PC and fired up my ADSB. Or
this guy might be heading for Bolton also. So, anyway.
He's 1,500 feet below us?
15 below, yeah. So he's down at about 2,000, which is where we're going to be heading because we're only 9 miles out. I usually report over West Jeff because they know where that is.
Yep.
Another one is Darby Dan, but it's off to the east a little bit. I'm going to be right over West Jeff, so that's usually, we just have agreed upon places. It's kind of home field advantage. Lily Chapel is that grain elevator over there. That's a reporting point, West Jeff. Or I could just say, I really literally could say 8 miles northwest. You'd still know. What he's going to tell me is reporter right, he's probably going to tell me it's right base runway 22.
Right base.
Yeah, we probably won't have to do a downwind because we're going to be coming straight at the runway. So we'd have to turn and come back. He'll just clear me into a right base, so we don't have to go all the way down and come back.
Fulton Tower, experimental 284 Delta Golf, over West Jefferson, inbound landing.
Experimental 4 Delta Golf, Fulton Tower. Enter right downwind runway 22, report midfield. Wind is 190.09, altimeter 3047.
Report right downwind, runway 22, 4 Delta Golf.
So we are, actually as I look at it, if we were up here, that would put us in a, well, the airport's here, it's not here, but either way will work. I could just as easily do a base leg. He was leaving his options open.
Yeah.
If he puts me in a base leg, it's really hard to get me to go anywhere. If he gets another one coming the other way or something like that, that could be what he's doing. He thought about it. You can hear him thinking about it, that little pause. Where do I want him?
You're more of a direct in.
I'm buying
by
him
doing this.
Well, it buys him some time because I'm going to have to come back like this instead of going straight to it. And on a crowded day, that would make sense. Right now, I'm not sure what he's thinking, but I can see that as part of the thought process. When they're busy, I've been cleared to land 5 miles out.
Yeah.
That's very rare because another plane could come in. That was a day when nobody else was flying, apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what his motive there was. If I had reported north, he probably would have told me to do the base leg. Northwest, I mean, we really are perpendicular to it. They both make sense. I'm just covering the fact that I guessed wrong. I don't like to be wrong.
That's all right.
I'm married. I'm used to being wrong.
I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah, we're all wrong. It comes with the gender.
Well, some would have you think.
See, so 5 miles out, I should be able to see the airport, but I don't.
Easy.
What's going on with that?
Those are low clouds, aren't they? Or just haze?
There's almost always a haze layer. It's extremely rare. It happens maybe 5 days of the year, and generally in the bitter cold of winter, that you can see all the way out to the horizon with no haze at all. But it is very, very rare. This is is very clear. This in the summer, this would be almost impossible to get a day like this.
Wow.
You always have that humidity.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. It's the wind correction. We're pointed 20 degrees off. I'm looking out in front of us. We're not going that direction. We're going that direction.
Yep.
That is a huge, that's a it's a 49 crosswind now. That's a lot.
Yeah.
If we were heading that way, we would never get anywhere.
That's right.
Here it gets bumpy. Let's see, this will be a good test for the camera, the turbulence, because it'll wobble around a little more than it had been. You remember that Florida flight when I had it mounted directly metal to metal?
Yeah.
That vibration the whole way? That was awful.
Yeah.
This is much better.
It'll be a good test for the passenger.
It turns out the problem is you can't mount it to anything solid because you get all the vibration.
Oh, yeah.
I needed some isolation. I'd like to hang it up here.
Ground, runway 22,
Okay, Bolton ground.
Bravo and
He's transmitting on both.
200 at 08, altimeter 3047.
Oh, 3047. Did he tell me that? He must have done. I didn't hear it. Well, I'll look later. This is why I record him.
Yep.
Did he tell me that? He might have done, and I just ignored it. It's not critically important. Instrument flying, you better know it.
Yeah.
VFR, I'm doing almost everything with my eyes anyway.
Yep.
It does, well, that said, I should be at the correct pattern altitude. It lets him know where to look for me. So if I'm off by 100 feet, it'll take him a little longer to find me. You don't really want that either.
We're at 1900. Is that pattern altitude?
Pattern altitude's 18, or 1704.
Oh,
I can't do 04.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure.
so I round up to 18.
I guess I called you out on it, didn't I?
No, it's okay. But it's 1704. I don't know how I'm supposed to do 4 feet. I mean, I can only go by 10s anyway.
That would be precise.
But we're not in the pattern yet. We are reaching pattern altitude right now.
Oh, okay.
There we are. We're not in the pattern until I report it. Now I'll report it as midfield right downwind so he knows where to look.
Bolton Tower, 4 Delta Golf, midfield right downwind, runway 22.
From 4 Delta Golf, runway 22, clear to land.
Clear land, runway 22, 4 Delta Golf.
And he was clearly waiting for that.
Yeah, he was all.
He was Johnny on the spot.
You got.
And his name ain't even Johnny. Yeah, he's taxiing out. I'm aware of him.
on the train.
He's going to do a run up. I'm cleared to land.
Yep.
And he's already cleared. I mean, he is aware that he's going to sit there and do a run up. And if he's not, he's going to wait for me. I mean, I'm cleared to land. Now, he can revoke my landing clearance, but he'd need a pretty good reason.
Yeah, especially once you turn final.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'll get that go around. They'll call go around. If something gets on the runway, maintenance truck could accidentally pop out there, although that's very rare because they're in communication with the tower. Animal could pop out there. Something could happen, and he could just tell me go around. Now, anything he tells me to do, I can refuse. I can say unable.
Really?
Yes, but if something happens because of that, I better have had a damn good reason to do so.
Yeah, I have.
You don't do it just to be a jerk. I wonder what that's all about. See those little sheds down in there? Or something down in that field? Maybe it's just trash.
I think it's trash.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me, it's Grove City. Now we're going to land. See that guy? He's going to be waiting for us, potentially. This is why I don't land on the numbers.
Yep.
It's a half a mile down to
Just
that
in case he
taxiway,
pulls
and
his
I
run
only
up
need
out.
800 feet.
Yeah.
So we'll land. I've been aiming for those solid bars. I think on the last video I missed them by about a foot. But that gets me, I don't have to slam on the brakes, but I'm also not making somebody sit and wait for me. Although he's got 2 engines to run up, so he'll be a while. Boy, it's kind of bumpy out here, isn't it? Look at the difference in the windsocks. See how the direction of the one, they're not quite exactly the same?
Still looking for the windsocks.
Oh,
yeah,
I see them. You know they're surprisingly hard to see from the air?
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you wonder, who are they intended for? This is almost straight down the runway. But it's not really a factor at all. Flaps. Perfect.
On the solid.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Right off the 3, monitor ground 0.84. I could have actually, with that wind, I could have gone even further down.
Got my crap out of my pocket for you for the flaps.
Had an awful lot of runway left. It's 10 knots on the nose. Yeah, that's a little bit.
Terminal 4 Delta Golf, exit at Alpha 3, taxi parking via Alpha and Charlie, monitor ground 0.8 on the way in.
Right, Alpha 3, Alpha to Charlie to park, monitor ground 0.84, Delta Golf.
And I'll do it this time. I was halfway through this turn last time before I did it. Now the ground control, it's same guy.
Yeah.
He only controls us from here to the end of that taxiway Charlie. He does not control the ramp. I could go out there and do donuts or whatever I want.
Oh, really?
He has very little control When you come off that taxiway.
Yeah. At a busy airport, you wouldn't want more control.
Well, I would like a little bit more advice if there's somebody coming down that single lane exit and I'm coming up. They very rarely tell me about that. I'll come around that corner and there's an airplane and we're nose to nose. It's not his area. So he may not allow, I don't know if what he's allowed to do, how much would incur liability or whatever, but it would be an important thing for me to know. Now at night when the tower's closed, I'll self-announce, hey, I'm coming up Bravo. In case somebody's trying to come out.
Can you fly visual at night?
Sure.
Okay.
I can't because, one, I haven't done it for a long time and I have to get current, and two, I abhor it. I absolutely hate it. My night vision, I didn't like it even when my night vision was good.
Yeah.
I got 59-year-old eyes, well, 58 and a half. They don't work at night anymore. So, and I just never liked it. I've always found it uncomfortable.
Quebec Foxtrot on the right down, runway 22, report midfield.
Really
Wind
never had a
is
reason.
180 at 08, altimeter 3047.
Whew, the sun is working well, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Turn it off. Turn the air conditioning on.
Okay. That works well.
There's those planes I was talking about.
310 Hotel Sierra, Bolton Tower, runway 22, clear for takeoff. What direction were you headed?
I heard
Eviction.
that some planes had gotten evicted from the hangars for non-payment. These are going to go to, I don't know if these are them, but they were going to go to police auction. And that seems like a bargain place to buy an airplane. There's only one of them I'd want. I'd want that one on the end.
Under.
The close end.
Yeah.
The Yankee or Cheetah or whatever it is. I have trouble telling those apart. They're Grumman's. Grumman makes F-14s, or made F-14s.
Yep.
I don't know how to make a piston plane. The weird thing about them is the fuel tank is in the wing spar. It's a big tube that runs the length of the wing.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get one of those, I hear, in a spin. Because when that starts spinning, all that weight,
force.
yeah, it's all the way out the wingtips. You're never going to get that to stop. Well, that's what they say.
Does it make a plane sluggish?
No, the plane doesn't care. It's carrying the weight. No matter where it carries it, it's carrying it. It'll make, well, this one, the reason this is so light in roll is there's no weight in those wings.
Yeah.
You're sitting, so yeah, it won't make it sluggish, per se.
Control will be different.
It will be, well, and it's a travel plane. It's not, this is a sport plane. It says right in the middle, light sport.
Yep.
So you're not intended, anyway, to travel long distances. Now the reality is you can because of the autopilot.
Yeah.
Autopilot helps a great deal. But this is not the kind of airplane you can just let go of the stick and look at a map. It's more like a helicopter. You're always flying it. Okay, here we go.
Clear this way.
Our turn.
Sorry, I was a little late.
Traffic.
Traffic at the
On
hangars.
Georgesville Road. I don't care. Traffic on I-270. Don't care. Boom, 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 boom.
Well done, Dave.
Oh, thank you.